Hi, my name is Dennis Ebenezer. Welcome to the Mini-Grid Design video series I promised on dropping, and today I'm thrilled to have Osas join me. Welcome, Osas.
Thank you, Dennis.
Alright, so let's get started. We'll be running through the charge controllers and the inverters. Now, for the charge controller, one needs to understand that it's a device that regulates the state of charge of a battery. Now, with regards to charge controller, there is the MPPT, which is mostly used for a 1 kilowatt power and above system. Now, also for the charge controller, you need to understand that it has a variable voltage and a fixed current. So let's say 12 volts and a 48 volt charge controller can have just a 30 ampere fixed current running through it. Alright, so Osas, if I'm to go for a charge controller, what would you advise me to look out for?
Well, I think the most important thing to look out for is the level of the internal conversion of the charge controller, because you want something that does not consume a whole lot at all, because the charge controller is meant to be protecting your entire system. You don't want it to be taking up all the energy that's supposed to be given to the rest of the load. So look out for a charge controller that only takes up a few milliamperes to power the indicator lights that show you the temperature, that show you the rate of charge of the system, that show you all the entire parameters of the system.
Wow, thank you so much. Now, more like a follow-up to this very question. If I'm connecting charge controllers, which should I go for first? The battery or the panels?
Definitely the batteries, because you're expecting that your panel would have a higher open circuit voltage than your batteries and the rest of the system, because you want current to flow from your panels to the rest of the system. So if you connect your batteries first to the charge controller, your charge controller is able to recognize the voltage system and then set it up for the entire system. But if you end up connecting the solar panels first, the higher voltage is what's going to get recognized by the charge controller. And then when you connect the rest of the system, the batteries and the inverters, when you connect those ones, it ends up damaging your charge controllers. It could even damage your entire systems, including the panel, because the voltage will end up being too high. Yeah. So you need to do the batteries first.
Yes, perfect. And also, even before you go ahead connecting with the other systems, discover that even the open circuit voltage could damage the charge controller itself.
Exactly.
Wow, perfect.
Exactly.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Osas. Now, moving over to the inverters. But before we go to the inverters, you need to understand that for the charge controllers, when operating it, always know that the system temperature increases. So when installing, make sure it is kept in a well-ventilated environment. So for the inverters, now you need to get at the back of your mind that this is a very essential step between the DC power battery and the AC power household electrical systems. Yes. Now, Osas, for the inverters, now I understand that this is a very critical component of the system, and then one needs to take it step by step. That is, before you even get to choose the nominal voltage, you need to know how the system sizing goes about. Now, for the inverters, we understand that it's classified by waveform. We have the modified sine wave, we also have the true sine wave, and we have the square sine wave. So for rural community dwellers and dwellers in office buildings, which would you recommend?
Well, I mean, you can really pick any kind of inverter depending on the quality of electricity that you're looking for. But then if you want to get the best quality, which is what I would advise, I would recommend for office buildings, you should go for the true sine wave inverters. That's what will give you the best quality. At the end of the day, you get power that is as good as what you get from the normal electricity grid. Sometimes it's even better. Yeah. But then it's a bit costlier. But considering the kind of equipment you use in the office, it's worth it to go for the true sine wave inverter. But if you're in a rural setting and you're probably powering just a few light bulbs and some fans, basic appliances, you might not really need the best. So you can go for the modified sine wave inverter. That one will not give you as great a quality, but it will still fulfill your needs, and you have to consider cost as well. It's much cheaper than the true sine wave inverter. So that's what I would recommend.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Osas. I sincerely appreciate it. Alright guys, so we've come to the end of the video. And like I said, I promised it was going to be insightful, and I trust you have learned so much. Thank you so much to Rubitech. Many thanks also to All-On for the funding. And yeah, thank you also again.
Thank you for having me. Thank you everyone for watching.
Yeah, alright, take care.